It is Wednesday and we find ourselves again on another cable car, sitting in the least sickening position that we can. We are on our way to Alcatraz. We need to find our way to Pier 33. And the great thing is that all of the piers along here are numbered, so all we have to do is literally count the piers.
We're at 9.
We're at 9. So for the next, I don't know, 10 minutes or so, we're going to be spending our time counting piers. We are now in line for the Alcatraz cruise and about to get onto a cruise boat. So your favourite thing, right? You love it. Yeah. So Alcatraz is probably famous for two things. Firstly, it is one of the most well-guarded prisons on the planet, which is now obviously not in use because we are taking tours from it. But it's also probably most famous for being the setting of the film The Rock, starring Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery. Everyone knows The Rock, okay? Everyone knows that film. It's a brilliant film, and it's what Alcatraz is most famous for. Okay, yeah, it is. Absolutely is. So that's what we're really going for, to see where The Rock was shot. So we're looking around some of the lower bits of the first part of the island. This is only one part, it's a huge island. Because people used to live here alongside the prison. Like, the prison was only one part of it. There used to be a community of people that lived here as well. But look at all of this. Like, it doesn't even, it's weird, it doesn't seem real. But this is actually how it all looks. It's not done up to look like this.
It's creepy, it's so creepy.
So creepy. We're gonna go see if we can find some of the cells now where they held Al Capone and Machine Gun Kelly. Machine Gun Kelly, that was his name.
Yeah, I mean, his mum did give him that.
He wasn't born with the name Machine Gun Kelly. I mean, that's like, that's really typecasting your kid, isn't it? Sounds like he's gonna grow up to be a robber. Well, that's what I'm training him for. I've just had a thought. Like, while we're walking around this whole island, realising how big it is, and realising that how much stuff is on here, I think the most surprising thing to me is that while Alcatraz is obviously most known for being a penitentiary and an impenetrable prison that no one could escape from without dying, the most surprising part is that there was also a community of people that lived here as well. Like, there was also housing and people that resided there and had families and had children, and the children took a boat to get to the mainland to get to school. And it seems weird to think that this is an island that also had that. It just seems surprising to me to think that there was this kind of community that lived here alongside where all of the prison was as well, but it's just on a different side of the island. It's so strange to think that. We are now inside the prison cell parts of Alcatraz. We're about to start our tour, our audio tour. As you can tell by my funky earphones here. But initial impressions. Look at this. Look at the size of it. Each cell is only about this big. I'm going to stand here so you can kind of see by reference. That's the kind of headroom that you get. It's not much on the inside at all. There's literally hardly any space for anything. There's nothing in them that you get space-wise. Some shelves, loo. Coming here and being in these cells is not an experience that even prisoners would want to have. Which from different prisons, you break the prison rules, you go to Alcatraz. And I've just been told that I might have a visitor, which is great. Oh look, I've got a visitor, isn't that great? Oh look, can't hear me? No? Oh, that's awkward. Oh, this is going to be a very one-sided conversation then. I'll be out soon, don't worry. No, I won't. I'm staying in here. So what do you think has been the most interesting part so far? After looking around inside all of the cells, seeing what it's like in there, seeing who it housed and getting an experience of what life was like.
It's so weird to just see that they were in there. But you go into the cells and they've got the beds and stuff laid out, and the dummy where his head was. Yeah, the dummy heads that they used so they could escape and pretend that they were in the bed. When you go into the isolation one and how dark it is. And
yeah,
I don't know, just being in a place where everybody was at some point. You stood in a place where they were.
And the fact that, and also the fact that you can see the city from some of the windows, and you can
how much punishment just looking at what
and
you
from
can't
from the recreation yard you can see the whole city. It's like that's probably the worst punishment, knowing that you can actually see everything from across the water.
The sun's shining over there, but it's not shining over here.
Well, we will probably soon need to get a boat off this damn rock. There's one way off of here, and it's on a boat, and you got to go on their schedule.
Yeah, you really do, though.
Yeah, you really do. So after stepping off of the Alcatraz ferry, you walk along a little bit and you come to Pier 39, which has all of these kinds of gift shops, ice cream shops, restaurants. There's all sorts of historic stuff here, because it looks like this, which is really nice. But one of the main pulls of Pier 39 is going and seeing some sea lions.
It's the fact that
How many sea
there's
lions?
a good amount of small fish, of octopus, small sharks, jellies, just to name a few of the favorite foods for the California sea lions. So they'll come in here for the food, for the seafood. Not unlike humans. Humans come to Pier 39 for the seafood all the time. It's something we share. It's great. And it's the second reason why the sea lions like to stop here along the migration. Now California sea lions. So usually there aren't any out here. Why is there a ton of rocks?
Somewhere we just totally randomly stumbled across on our little walks around Fisherman's Wharf and around that kind of area. If you ever wondered where pinball machines and penny arcade machines and the little rotary flip machines go to die, it's probably in here. So this place is filled with all of these old penny machines and old pinball machines. It's actually a museum. So there's a ton of them in here, and they're really, really old. They're a genuine article, and it seems like they've been here for years and years and years, kept in good condition and everything. But I mean, this is a huge place, and it's absolutely filled with them. So if there was ever a pinball machine that you particularly enjoyed playing that you can't find anymore, it's probably here. Stuff. It's a very bright Thursday today, and we are going to take advantage of the weather being so nice. Come with me and see out our back window. Look at how bright. Look at how bright. So last night was the only day this week that it actually rained pretty badly. And we got caught in it while we were out, and what was worse is I dropped a map somewhere along our walk. I thought it was pretty important that I went back and find it because I like to keep these things, I like to hang on to them. I mark out where we go on them and it's easier for us to find our way around if we have one. It wouldn't be a big deal if we didn't. What I found was something that needed a lot of stitching back together.
What you found?
What Amber found. Amber was looking for it a lot more closely than I was.
Yeah, in the rain.
Went back in the rain to find it, and Amber was the one that spotted it. What we got back was a very wet map that was starting to fall apart, and as you can see, this is what we have. I mean, it's still intact, but only after a lot of sellotaping. All of the ink is still in place, and it's just a little bit filthy, but it's still usable. But it's yeah, it's a little bit worse for wear. So hopefully our map will allow us to still get about well, and we are going to go and see some stuff today. One short trip later and we are out at Crissy Field. Crissy Field is a part of San Francisco that used to be an airstrip. So it's this really long stretch of land which is now mostly fields, but there's also some ports and some decks and stuff as well. But from here you get some great views of Golden Gate Bridge. And that's what we're looking for today. It's a nice bright day today. Too bright for some. Yeah, that's better. There we are. So we are out in front of Golden Gate Bridge, and there are dogs everywhere. And this is basically the best thing that can happen right now. Is that we're in San Francisco, looking at the Golden Gate Bridge,
And there's dogs.
and there's dogs. So I think that's like the 3 major checks done right there. So
If you want to have them.
yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily see how the day can get too much better than this. It's only like 11 o'clock. I mean,
It's still Paul Rudd here.
yes. Shh. Because we know, after last night, that out at Fisherman's Wharf, there are sets that have been set up. And they're filming part of Ant-Man and the Wasp here. For future reference, Marvel, I appreciate your attempts to be sneaky, but when you call your undercover production Pym Particles Productions, that's kind of a bit of a clue in.
A bit of a buzz. They want.
Yeah, a little bit. It's a little bit of a giveaway to us nerds here that know what's going on. But we might take a sneaky walk past later and see what's going on, because it looked quite interesting. Maybe we'll see Paul Rudd, who knows? It's been like how many years since Clueless, and that's only been like 2 years in Paul Rudd time. So we've taken a bus over to Fisherman's Wharf and Pier 39, and we are where we were, roughly around the same area that we were last night. And as you can see, over here is a live filming set, and that is currently, as we cross the road, that is currently the set of Ant-Man and the Wasp. But we can't say it too loudly because it's meant to be a secret.
They can't force you to do it. Well, I know what they want you to do.
All of this going on here.
Told them that you and Steve had a falling out, and that you would be the Yeah, remember over your house and stuff?
Very exciting stuff. We are now heading to Dolores Park in the middle of an area called the Mission. Apparently Dolores Park is a really nice area to see some of the sights of San Francisco from a nice vantage point. But the most exciting thing is, we walked within spitting distance of Paul Rudd. How brilliant was
We
that?
didn't just walk within spin distance of where we stood, and he was right there, literally. No barrier.
No,
Do they not know who I am?
it was
I had free reign to just go up and touch him. He was just right there, hanging about, waiting to get in a car.
he was right there. So that was an exciting thing to have happen. I wanted to shout something at him, but I think that it's probably not the best idea. So we're going to see what it's like at Dolores Park and reminisce about that time that we walked past Paul Rudd in his Ant-Man suit, but with a t-shirt over it so no one could see it.
Apparently people don't know that.
So we are currently on a street called Clarion Alley. This is a small little alleyway where not a lot of cars can really come through here, but it is most famous for all of its graffiti art. And it goes all the way down this street, all the way to the end. Just look at this, someone has spent time doing this. All about. What do you think, Amber? So much of it all around the place. And the funny thing is, like, some people live in these houses. And these houses here, people just live there. And they've got this over their garage. I mean, I wouldn't exactly be annoyed that that was my garage. I'd actually think that was quite cool, but, you know. And all of the shoes that are up here. So after our short walk, we have made it to Dolores Park. Right as the day is coming to an end and the sun is beginning to set, and it's still daylight, starting to get dark, but we're at the top of the hill now, and frankly, you can see why they tell you to come here and look out across the city from up here, because this view from the top of Dolores Park is no joke, particularly when everything is starting to light up. You can see so much of what brings this city to life from this point. It's absolutely beautiful here. And it just makes you think, like, San Francisco is one of these places that is, while it is a metropolitan city and there are a lot of things that you will find similar to other cities, there are certain things that you can only find right here.
I look over there, you know, that's where Paul Rudd was.
Remember that time we saw Paul Rudd? That was brilliant. This is a really beautiful place though. San Francisco is such a uniquely designed.
Mix of things, isn't it?
It is.
The whole city is a strange mix of
It is. It's got such a mixture of districts and hills and public transport to get about, and you can be right in downtown at one minute and then right out on a coast the other. And sure, you can say the same about LA, but it's just, I feel it's less commercial than Los Angeles is. It's more genuine than Los Angeles. It's a really, really beautiful city, and this spot really proves that.